That's baloney! That's baloney! That's baloney!
And here we are.
Hey, hello.
Did you like that really long
You know,
intro?
it's the first time I've seen it. It's really cute. It's very,
I
very
made
cute.
it. I'm trying to make really cool things for the show. So,
Fun.
yeah, I
Yeah.
made. Do you know what my turtitoids are?
You know what?
My turtitoids? Did I ever tell you about my turtitoids?
No.
Oh, yeah, this is like a part of the bologna sandwich show, and I don't have them with me, but turtitoids are human-like species. Oh, here, let me show you this.
Oh my
And
God,
I
they're
made the
cute.
word. I made the word up. The word doesn't exist. I made it up, and I make like little shirts and cartoons. And I feel like this could be on Adult Swim or something. This
Oh,
could be
those
like
are fun.
famous.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, before we
I,
start, oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I'm just in the background. If it gets loud, let me know. My husband,
Oh,
bless his heart, is on the phone with my 89-year-old mother trying to get her live on the show right now. And it's like it is like an SNL skit. It's like,
oh,
Ma,
she's trying.
push the button, get on YouTube, subscribe. It's like all the crazy things like, where's the button? I don't know. Why do I have to push this one?
We should have her as a split screen and the three of us be talking.
Oh, that
Maybe.
my God. We would be here till tomorrow trying to figure that one out.
Let me turn my light down a little
Wait,
bit. Hold on.
okay.
Yeah, is that a little bit better? I feel like
Oh,
the light
oh yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
it's nice. It's nice.
Fantastic. Yeah, so I don't know, like when I go live on StreamYard versus on straight through the YouTube app,
Yeah.
I can hear him.
Okay, new.
I heard him say Bologna. It's okay. We could talk for a minute
Okay.
until he figures it out. We'll
Okay.
let some more people get here too.
Oh, I can't. You can see how many people are coming on, right?
Yeah, I can see there's not that many people, but I wonder, like, for some reason, if YouTube doesn't push out the live when it's on StreamYard. Because when I go live,
Oh,
like through the app, I'll get like 30 people in and then it goes down to like 8 or 10. But guess what's
um.
on right now? The State of the
Oops,
Union is
sorry.
on right now.
Did you hear that? Hang on, I was trying to. Can, can you hear him screaming? Hang on. Can I do a
Oh,
live on Facebook while we're doing this?
yeah.
Just to tell everybody.
Yeah. Oh, you know
Um.
what? I should have done it live on Facebook. Next time we do
Oh,
it,
here we are.
I could put your Facebook info in, I think. But did you know, Nicholas?
I'm gonna do it this way so there's the
Okay.
only. Hey everybody, we are live on YouTube on Julia Bernstein's bologna sandwiches. Come on over. We're gonna talk fun stuff, flight attendant stories, all kinds of fun stuff. So head on over to YouTube, bologna sandwich.
Sandwich show.
Sorry,
Bologna sandwich show.
bologna sandwich show. Why can't I hear you all of a sudden? Maybe it's because the anyway. All right. Bye everybody. Come on over. Bye.
Yay, promo. Guess what's on right now? Can you hear
Um,
me? Oh, he can't hear me.
Post. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Thanks for whoever's watching this. The
Oh,
State
now
of
I
the
hear you.
Union is on right. Guess what's on right now though? It's the State of the Union. So that's why
Yeah.
everybody's that's why I only have
Oh
a few
no.
people.
You know what?
I don't know.
I posted this on. I'm gonna put this down so we don't. I posted this on Facebook. I said the alternative to the State of the Union. come over and have some laughs with us.
Yeah, the bologna sandwich show.
Yeah.
Talking.
So,
Mhm. That's okay. Even if we
but
don't have a lot of people now, I
but the
repost it.
State of Union is not on for another 3 hours. I don't think.
I thought it's on at 6.
I thought is it 6 or is it?
Yeah, they're not going to show it at 9 o'clock
Oh, you're
West
right.
Coast, and then
Yes.
it would be 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, date and time.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Hey, let me show the comments.
oh yeah,
Somebody's
that's
here.
fun.
Do you see it? It's really small. Hey, Nicholas, link not on Facebook, just searched YouTube. It's from Shell784. Yeah, I don't think you put the link on Facebook.
Oh,
Did you post that link I sent you?
yeah.
Oh, but she's watching or he's watching.
That's my
Where are
sister.
all my people at? Where's all my YouTube people at? Dude, what am
Studio
I,
chat.
nothing?
Oh, here we go. Comments. Okay. Just search YouTube. Hey, okay, I see that. It's your sister.
Sister. Cool. Hi, sister. Hi, Nicholas' sister.
Is my mother here yet?
Ah.
What? Resend what link? If we just go to your face, if we just go to Bologna Sandwich Comedy Show, isn't it live on there?
If you go to my YouTube page, you can just hit it'll show that I'm live. Like if you go to bologna_sandwich_show, BOLOGNA, and then you just go to the YouTube and you could see that I'm live. So you don't necessarily have to have a link.
Okay, Ron, just go to Bologna_comedy show.
No comedy. Bologna_sandwich.
Just go to Bologna_sandwich.
_show.
_show. Are you?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Is Mom on? Oh my God! It's just my whole family. That's the only ones on right now.
I love it.
We'll get every and and hi Brenda. Yes, I can hear you.
I have friends too. I don't know where all of my friends are at. Maybe YouTube just doesn't push out my live sometimes. But whatever. How come you look so good? Your screen and everything and your face. I look washed out. Yeah, you could just go to YouTube and watch live.
Watch live, right? What? Oh, yeah, hopefully my mom's on. I search friends of Bologna. Okay.
Oh, did they search friends of the Bologna and they found it?
I guess. Let me see.
Oh, how cool.
Ask my mom, are you on? This is fun.
I wonder when it films you if it puts the comments over your face. Like,
oh, I can see that. I can see them kind of coming over here, but I'm also have them on the side too. I have the comments.
All right. Well,
we can wait a couple more minutes. Should I call my mom and we can do it?
Yeah. Put your mom on speakerphone.
Okay. Let's call her.
I love moms.
Yeah. I can see that. Oh. I can see them kind of coming. Okay, I guess you can see I'm on live, right? You can see me, right? You're.
Well, I can see the screen. I can hear them babbling.
Can you see my face? Okay. Let's go. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, I can see your face. Oh, you're talking to me?
Yes, we're talking to you on the. You're live, Mom. Say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, you can't.
Everyone.
All right. So we just wanted to make sure that you got connected.
I guess you can see I'm on live, right? I can't hear you because I hear you on the iPad.
Yeah, there's a delay. All right. I'll talk at you later. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yay, mothers.
Yeah.
So
Um,
cute.
so then and there's no way we can do this like going on to it can't go on to Facebook.
There, there is a way. I'll tell you this, and then let's get into it, the
Oh,
conversation because we have
okay.
people here. But
Oh, okay.
there is a way for me to do it on Facebook. We'll talk.
Okay.
I got to put a stream key. It's kind of complicated, but
Okay. Okay.
Dr. Julia will figure it out.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
Yay! And then
Yay.
here, let me play I made this. I'm going to play this one more time for everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
That's baloney.
Okay,
I
yay!
love it. I love it. I love
Now
it.
we started. So, Nicolas Volante, you are here once again on the Bologna
I
Sandwich
am. Thank
live
you for having.
stream.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we've been having fun walking through what you are trying to do, which is flesh out the book you're writing
Right.
and all of your experiences as a flight attendant. So, for anybody who's new and watching this, that's what we're doing. That's the whole point of this. Nicholas is super funny. He is a walking history book. He has had crazy experiences.
To say
So,
the least.
to say the least, and you're an
Yeah.
amazing person. So,
Oh, thank you so
um,
much. So are you. This
yeah,
is fun.
thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think we tease this topic of do flight attendants sleep with pilots? In my experience, personally, no. Although I have a couple of really funny stories that I can go into, and I have to be careful. I'm not going back. I don't think I'm going back to work, so I don't really care. But names and places need to be changed to protect the guilty. Um, the reality is yes, but the beautiful side of that is that I know so many beautiful couples who have met at work and married and have really stable, beautiful marriages.
That's
And
amazing.
so yeah, I mean, so yes, there's the other side of it, and that's for everybody to decide on their own. Oh, hey, Odette. If only you saw our crew. So I have this story. Okay. Several years ago, when I was based in San Francisco, but I just moved to San Diego and I was commuting for a while until I got the base swap. Um, um, I was commuting down after work, and this lovely old woman in her 90s was on the flight, and we ended up upgrading her to first class. And I sat next to her. We got her trashed on Prosecco. And she was a Pan Am flight attendant from the 50s, right? From the late 50s. And I mean, this is 2018, right? And so we got her talking, and she was having a good time. And we were talking about that at that time the TV show Pan Am was on, and we were asking her, how true. And she's like, oh, that show was so silly. She said, she said, that scene where the wife confronts the flight attendant and says, "Stop sleeping with my husband." And she said, "Oh, that's so silly. We would never have done that. We wouldn't have slept with a married man. We had each other."
Oh,
Yes.
that's
And so,
true though.
yeah, we had
We
each
had
other. And
each
it's
other.
like,
Oh my
we
God.
had each other. And this
Oh,
is late 50s, and those crews, um, I mean, from what I understand, those were long trips where they, especially international ones, they'd be together for a while. She said, yeah, we didn't need to sleep with married men. With married men, we had each other.
oh, the
It's like,
stories.
I
Oh, the
know,
stories of a Pan Am flight attendant.
I know, I know. And yeah, so I'm going to take it easy tonight and not ramble over too many times because,
I like when you
and
rambled. There's energy. You keep the
yeah, there
energy
is
going.
that. So that was a funny. I always thought it was really cute. I have pictures somewhere with her, and yeah, she was in her 90s. I don't think she's still around anymore.
That
Um,
was at Virgin America.
yeah, it was right at the. It was right at the. But we were on a Virgin plane, so that's all that
Okay.
mattered at that time. Um,
Dang, that's crazy.
yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, yes, I mean in the beginning. there was a lot of people that were, having fun layovers and things like that. And there were people that were, involved, but there was it's a really funny story. I was on a layover. I can say this. I have only been to Hooters one time.
Oh my God.
Okay, I don't give a crap if the person, it's never going to get back to them, but I don't care. But anyway, we were in Orlando. This is many years ago, right? And so it was the captain, the first officer, and I, both straight guys, and the captain was okay, but he was kind of, your good old boy who, he was a hustler. He liked his girls. And so, and the first officer was a really nice guy, kind of quiet, laid back. Right. So I never been to, Hooters, and they're like, come on, come with us. And I was hungry. So I was like, all right, let me go. Right. So
I can't imagine you being at Hooters.
Yeah. And I don't drink. I mean, once in a blue moon, but by and large, I have enough stomach troubles that last me a lifetime. So I don't need to drink. So here we are at the Hooters, and I'm with my iced tea or Diet Coke or whatever I'm drinking, and he's just pounding them back. I mean, he's just, and he's getting, I would say, in the sloppy realm, right? And these women, these young women, girls, whatever you want to call women that work at Hooters, they are so smart, right? Like, this is not their first time at the Rooter. They know how to handle this stuff. And so he's like, just hit, like, working it really hard. And the girls are like, so one of them starts paying attention to me. And it's like, I think she kind of got the scenario real well. And I'm like, so she's not hitting on me, but she's kind of coming, putting her arm around me and just talking to me. And I'm like, honey, you're safe with me, and it's like, she kind of figured that. And that just blew him like his circuits, because, here he is, he's supposed to be the macho guy that, and the gay guy in the group is getting all the attention.
But that's how it is, because girls feel safe around gay men, so they know that they can let their guard down. And
yeah.
Oh my God. What did he?
And then he was like, oh, you're getting all the attention. I'm like, dude, dial it back a little bit. Let's leave some room to breathe. If this is how you come on, I'd be scared, So, yeah.
I mean, that's like the one question that I get when people know that you're a flight attendant. It's two questions. Have you joined the Mile High Club? Do people do that? And then do pilots and flight attendants hook up?
Yeah.
And I mean, I stayed out of that, but I know that people did. But I'm like, I have a plenty with the passengers. There's like plenty men to choose from with the passengers. That was my go-to.
Remember the in-flight boyfriend, in-flight girlfriend?
Oh.
Do you remember? Did you play that? We'd be like, who's my in-flight? And you like, 20 Charlie. Oof, no, I'm like 10 Delta. No, I got dibs on that one. And it's like, yeah. Like,
yes, that's why I would fly.
Your in-flight boyfriend, your IFB, in-flight girlfriend.
You know what I remember? I don't know if you probably weren't like this. I feel like this is like I don't want to stay on this topic if we want to talk about your death experience. But I just found that like the younger gay guys, every time I would like a guy on the airplane, they're like, oh, he's gay. I'm like, he's not gay. They want all the straight guys to be gay.
So my sister, one of my sisters is online, and when we were younger, we would go to the mall and we would play Is He or Isn't He? Yeah. So it would be like, well, if he goes towards you, you're lucky, and if he goes towards you, you might be lucky. So it was like, I mean, we can play that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right. Yeah, I'm just saying hi to somebody on the comments. Hey. There's not that much going on. I'll let you see if you want to look. People are saying hi.
I can see. Hi.
He looks like he can grow a thick beard.
It's all colors. It's all shadowy. This is, it used to be all filled in here, but this part's great. Nice. But thank you.
You look great.
I just my mother and my stepdad, they were watching the last episode, and she goes, "Are you really that bald?" And I'm like, Only my mother could tell me something like that. Thank
Where's
God
your
she
mom?
doesn't know how to. She doesn't know how to leave comments because I'm going to hear about it later. But anyway,
Shoot, don't show her how to do the comments. No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
I'm
No,
not.
show her how to do the comments. I want her
Oh,
to
I
be a part
will.
of it. Yeah, she should
All right,
totally comment. Where's your mom from again?
Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in Indianapolis for a few
Oh,
years.
right, right. I remember that.
Uh-huh. So yeah. Anyways, okay, the other thing that we were going to talk about, this is a huge part of your book and your life,
Right,
is
right,
your near-death experience, right? Your
right. Which
NDE.
is, which was 13 years ago. Probably this week. I think it happened. Yeah, this week.
Really?
And so it's been an evolving thing. And I think I mentioned to you that my my first book was a really nice. It was, again, I did it, but there was a lot of emotional. I was in a place where it was a lot of emotional purging, and it wasn't ready for prime time. I mean, and my older sister gave me this wonderful quote, which is right from your scars and not your wounds. And there was a lot I didn't tell people in advance. Some people knew the story, but and some people didn't. And so there was a lot of, I'm a domestic violence survivor, and a lot of people didn't know that story. And I opened the book with it, and they were like, and then there was like, and then I'm dying, and then I'm dying, and then I'm dying, and then it's like, and it's like it's a book, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa. So and then the story, I try, because my now husband helped me write the book. You were trying to incorporate, like, okay, now that I've had this near-death experience and experience this, now what am I going to do with it? Oh, let's fall in love. let's take a 20-year marriage that traumatized me, wait a couple of years, and dive feet first into it again. It's like,
You didn't
but
know.
it came along, and so we've been married for 6 years, and we've been together for 11. And I think I mentioned to you that, Heated Rivalry is one of my favorite all-time movies, TV series. And I've read the books, and it inspired me to take a look at the story again from the standpoint of, I think we was talking about this scenario. A lot of these, queer love stories all involve young people, which is great. I think there's a very, having a story that has a positive ending is really good. It's queer representation, and it's important. But most of them, if you look at young royals, and you look at Heartstoppers and Red, White, Royal Blue, and that's just a few. They're all really young, buff, and and so I said, you know what, our story happened later in life. I was almost 60 years old when I met him, and he's
Wow.
12 years younger than me.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to embarrass my mother right now, because my mother, bless her heart, got remarried 3 years ago in her 80s, and her husband is younger than her. And I said, oh, are we robbing the cradle? And she looked at me and she said, how old is Ron? It's like, okay, shut up.
That's
Anyway,
adorable. I love
yeah.
it.
So I wanted to give equal time, because we came together with a lot of emotional baggage. Ron's a veteran. He's a veteran with PTSD. He has also given me permission to share that he's a military sexual assault survivor, and that had not vocalized that at the time we met. And we came together. We threw everything at each other, including the kitchen sink, probably, to show each other how crazy and unlovable we are. And then finally, we just
Oh,
got exhausted and went, okay, this is
it's
where
like
we
two
meant to
kids
be.
throwing a tantrum.
Oh, but we were supposed to be adults. We were supposed to
Yeah.
be adults. And so now I'm able to take the trauma and talk about it, mention it without going in so deep into it, but show how it also helped us overcome that. And we went through it. But the focal point for me was my near-death experience, because it was, picture it, San Francisco, 2013. And I had been in the hospital 3 separate times with pneumocystis pneumonia, which is AIDS-related pneumonia. My meds had stopped working 6 months before. And I had a doctor at the time who was an asshole, and he wouldn't work with me on changing meds. I was having horrible leg pains. And so I went down this rabbit hole of alternative treatment, and it almost killed me. And so I was in the hospital in December. So just to make life more interesting, I'm allergic to penicillin, I'm allergic to sulfur drugs, and I'm allergic to Dapsone, which is the third of the tier of drugs. None of it was working. And so they tried doing all the alternative things. So they got me through the first episode in December. And I had never been that sick in my life. I mean, literally walking a block, when I came home, like walking a block felt like a mile just because I had, getting oxygen levels back up. So then I skated through December, January, thought, okay, I'm going to get ready and go back to work and And then I got a relapse and it came back worse than the first time. So
How
the end
old
of
were you
January,
when that happened?
I was like 55.
God, that's a lot for you're a young man still.
Yeah.
In your
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah. And
It re-
so they were doing all kinds of things. They put IVs in me. They put me in ICU. They tried clindamycin. It didn't work. And so then they sent me home after a couple of weeks. And they were arguing amongst this crew, like, what was the best treatment protocol? And they wanted to start me on pentamidine, which is really, it's rat poison, but, and it's really harsh. And so I went home. It was just me and my family was fantastic. They were all taking turns coming and taking care of me and sitting with me. And it was mom's turn. And so it was a day I just couldn't, I went into spasms and I couldn't get any air in. And I couldn't breathe. She called 911. And I don't know if you know what SAT levels are, saturation levels, oxygen saturation levels. I know there's a few EMT people in here, and they came and I was like gasping for air, and my SAT levels were 76.
What are they supposed to be?
100. It's like it's total oxygen level. And the EMT, they did a breathing treatment right there, and he goes, "Why are you even conscious?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just stubborn." So anyway, back to the hospital, back to ICU. There's lots and lots of stories, which I'll go into later. I was a member, I still am a member of Most Holy Redeemer Catholic Church in San Francisco. And they're in the Castro, and they were the first Catholic church to respond to the AIDS crisis back in the 80s. They started the first AIDS support group. That's a whole story. There's a book by my dear friend Father Donald Godfrey called "The Gays and the Grays," the start of the AIDS support group, and so he's wonderful. He's a Jesuit. We have to blame him for that now. We always tease him.
What does that mean?
Anyway.
Isn't that like a school, Jesuit school?
The Jesuits are the scholars, and we all tease them because they think they're above it all, but they are they're brilliant. I mean, the former Pope was a Jesuit. Anyway,
Okay.
so it was probably a week to 10 days. The actual day that I have it written down, I have it in the medical records, but it happened sometime the end of February, and so I was on copious amounts of oxygen, and they would have to give me these treatments. They'd have to hydrate me before, so that when they gave me the pentamidine, it wouldn't cause arteriosclerosis or arterial. It wouldn't damage my veins or rot my kidneys. And then when they give it to me, it was like, so when you have pneumonia, the last thing you want is more. And he also gave me this horrible metallic taste in my mouth, so I couldn't taste nothing. And I was supposed to be trying to eat food, so I didn't. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And the nice thing was they gave me carte blanche on all the pain meds I want. So I had IV dilaudid on spigot whenever, but I had to have I had a cannula and an oxygen mask. They did a splitter on me, and literally I coughed all the time. Like not just it was like those wretched barky coughs, and sedated me to try to do it. And I was getting tired, and I was, the sort of sum total of my life had caught up with me. I had been a caregiver for my ex-husband who had Lyme disease that went to his brain, and he was very difficult. And so in the book, I write about sort of this evaluating my life. Like it's a good life. Like you get to the good and the bad. And I still was I wanted to stop the treatment. And my mother and the doctors convinced me to, that my doctor said, just give me a few more days. I said, you have literally 2 more days, and then I'm stopping this. And that night, my mom was with me, and I sent her home. And I remember I had a private room, and I was laying in the bed. And I looked up at the clock, and it was exactly 10 o'clock. I remember that. And they'd given the treatment, gave me my meds and everything. And, it's funny because I have a friend who's a neurologist. She said, well, you were high on drugs. That's why you had the experience. I like, I was high on drugs every night. I mean, there was nothing new with that, except I had made the decision that I was going to stop the treatment. And so I'm laying there, and all of a sudden I start to feel this rolling sense of pleasure from my feet. And it's encompassing. It's just coming up my legs and up my body. And I'm like, damn, this is like ecstasy on steroids. And if I have to tell you why I know what ecstasy on steroids feels like, grow up. But anyway, and then all of a sudden the pain is gone, and I can breathe, and I'm out of the room. I'm out of the room. There was no white light thing. I was just floating in this sense, this unfucking believable sense of calm and peacefulness and serenity. And I was like, oh man, if this is it, bring it on. I am ready. This was like such a relief from what I had been experienced. And then I hear this voice say to me, are you ready to come home? I was like, okay, now what? And I was out of the bed. I was as conscious of what's going on as I'm talking to you now. It wasn't a dream state. Well, okay, so I was jacked up on some pretty good meds, but it wasn't a feeling of being like a dream state or anything like that. And I was like, oh, okay, so someone's talking to me, and they said, look, we don't have a dog in this fight. We're not going to love you any less if you stay or if you go. And those are the exact words I told my best friend, Mark, who was dying of AIDS in 1994, when he was terrified of fighting. And in those days, he died right before the meds came out. Like literally, if he hung on about another 6 months, he probably would still be here, maybe. But he didn't want to fight, and he was a mess. And I said, look, I'm not going to love you. It's about you. I'm here to support you. I'll take care of you, whatever you want to do. And those words came back to me. And then I said, I was just kind of listening, and I felt like I was at this big table, like a conference table, and I could see these silhouettes, but it was one person at the end of the table. I couldn't see a face, but I could see a silhouette, and then it felt like that person had like an infinite amount of energy, and I felt very safe and very secure. And they said, but look, we want to advise you, if you decide to stay, we really want to advise you that you will need to change the way you live, that you need to learn to put yourself first. And these all seem to be like, oh, duh, but they said, you've been putting everybody else ahead of yourself. And that is why you're here. And we want to make this crystal clear that this is not a judgment. And that was fabulous, Finn. There was no judgment in this state that I was in. It was amazing. And it says, this is not a judgment, but there is cause and effect.
Mm.
And and I said, okay, this all sounds really nice, but how do I get from here? Meaning, I mean, I was aware that I was, couldn't walk, couldn't breathe,
Did you know that this was a near death experience at the time? Were you like, oh, this is God, or
Oh, I knew I was I knew I was I knew I was not in my physical body. I knew I was someplace else. Where, I mean, I've done enough stuff. I've done enough and had enough spiritual experiences to know that at the moment, I knew I was not in my physical body. I was
okay?
in my ethereal body.
That's so crazy. That's
I
so
knew I was
trippy.
I was experiencing myself as non-physical,
Yeah.
which is a weird thing to do. Because the fun part is once you've done that, it's coming back in. Anyway,
Yeah.
so so I said to them, okay, so this all sounds really nice, but how do I get from where I am now to where I want to be?
Yeah.
And they said, don't worry about it. We got it covered. We got it covered. And we just want to know what you want to do. And I thought for a second, this could have lasted 10 seconds. It could have lasted an hour. I really don't know because I don't remember checking the time. And I said, okay, I'm in. Those were my exact words. I'm in. And then I immediately was brought back into the room. And I remember being in the room, and I was at Davies Hospital, which is in the Castro, and it's up on a hill. And I had a private room, and I went back to the hospital and checked it out to make sure. And from my room, I could see downtown San Francisco and the Bay Bridge. And of course, I couldn't get out of bed and do this, but I had the vision, or the imagine that I was looking out the window, and there in front of me was all of San Francisco. It was one of the most gorgeous views of downtown San Francisco at night. It's stunning. And and I went to sleep, and I slept sound. I mean, like one of the first nights I had this really amazing night's sleep. And when I got up in the morning, I was like, oh, did that really happen? I was just kind of like, okay, where, what? And I told the nurse, I said, you know what? I think I want to have breakfast. I think I'd like to sit up and have my breakfast. And they had this big chair next to the bed, which was a recliner. And so I remember they were like, oh my God. I was kind of a star there because I had been there so many times with my ex-husband that I got to know. I mean, I knew the hospital administrator, her assistant, I knew all the nurses.
Wow.
I mean, I was on a first name basis with a lot of them, and they saw all the things I had done for my ex-husband, and they were like, they could not have treated me better. So it was really sort of a good karmic experience for me.
Yeah.
And so I sat up and had breakfast, and my mom came in. I think she burst into tears. I think she did not expect. I mean, everybody later said, we thought we were going to die. I mean, we really were ready to let go. And that day I just wanted to be quiet because it was my lovely people at Most Holy Redeemer were constant every day. People were there sitting with me, talking with me, giving my mom and my family a break. It was lovely. And my the Virgin people were
You were at Virgin
there.
America then.
Yeah. Oh my God. The comments, the Facebook, I mean, people came and visit. Do you remember Matt? I don't think he minds me calling him. Do you remember Matt Voges?
Maybe.
Yeah. He came to visit. He just lived down the street, and he came in. He teased me about this forever, like for years after it happened. He came to visit me one time when I was in and I was having a coughing jag, and I literally would cough until I choked. And he walked in and thought I was dying, and the look on his face was like, oh,
Like that was the gargling.
Oh, it was like, I mean, it was really dramatic. I would just cough, cough, cough. It was a coughing jag, and he just happened to walk in the middle of one. I scared the I scared the living daylights out of him, and he would remind me of that forever. Anyway, that day was kind of quiet, and literally the next morning, my HIV doctor came in and carrying a patient. He was smiling and laughing. He was like, "Oh my God, I have no idea what happened, but you have just turned the corner, I believe."
This is insane.
My numbers, there was an indicator they were looking at. It was supposed to be under 150, and mine were well over 500. And it was a inflammatory. It measured inflammation of like organ functionality, and the higher it went, the closer I was to system failure. And he said, I have no idea what happened. And
did you tell him that you had a near-death experience?
You know what? I didn't tell anybody that for the longest time. I actually told my friend Father Kirk, who is my dear friend Father Kirk, who is a Roman Catholic priest, and just so in case people think, I don't know how this was going to play on. Oh, that's the cat. I should have had this prompted, but it's okay. Facebook keeps upping. Okay, favorites. It's over here.
I'm telling people they can ask you questions. Hi, Eric. Yep. And hi, Polly. Okay.
I don't know if you
this is you. It? Yeah.
This is me. That's my sister, Christine. That is my first day out of bed. My task was to walk from the bed to the door, and just to show you that I had not lost it was Easter time, and I hadn't lost my sense of humor totally. And I had bunny ears on. So that was March 3rd, 2013. And then I don't think they mind my showing this. So the day before I left the hospital, they did another X-ray. I had to do all these things. I had to wean myself off of oxygen. They had to wean me off copious amounts of steroids. But they wanted me to go to rehab, and I'm like, no, I have been here a month. I am not going to rehab. And but the day before I was to be discharged, they said, "Oh no, we went to take you down for an X-ray." And they came back and they're all like long faced. I'm like, "What's the matter?" And we just saw your X-rays, and we don't like what we see. And I'm like, "What?" And they said, your lungs are so scarred, we're not sure you're ever going to be off of oxygen. And I said, "Don't worry about it. It's all taken care of." By then I knew that, yes, by then I realized. And so they sent me home on home care. I had everything. I had a nurse, I had PT, I had, everything came to the house, right? Wow. And when the nurse saw me, she's like, "Oh, you're going to be a patient for a really long time." And I sent the wheelchair back after a week. I sent the oxygen that I'd been on for 4 months, I think 2 or 3 weeks after I came back home. The third week, my sister and a dear friend came to visit from Florida, and we drove her up to Napa, and I drove. And by the beginning of May, the home healthcare nurse said, "I can't justify having you on home healthcare. I'm going to release you to outpatient." And so by June, I was ready to go back to work because my disability was running out. Because one of my doctors was like, "That job's going to kill you." And I said, "Yes, but so will homelessness. So take your pick." Right.
Right.
Oh, and I went to my doctor for the release. And he was a lovely older man, and he'd been an infectious disease doctor for 35 years. He said, I was at ground zero when the AIDS crisis started in the 80s. And he said, I have been infectious disease doctor for 35 years. I have never seen anyone go from where you were to where you are now in such a short period. He goes, I am not a religious man, but something bigger than all of us had a hand in your recovery. And I said, do you think? And so that was me.
Oh my God, Virgin America. I know the guy on the
Yeah,
left.
that's Anthony,
Wow.
and it's Trina.
How long
Trina.
after this was the video?
That was June 12th. It was 3 months almost to the day. 3.5 months.
That's absolutely incredible. And nobody can deny that you had that experience.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so, yeah. And I guess yeah, I mean, the interesting thing, I think the questions were like, why me? And then it was like, well, why not? Why not me?
Yeah.
And I think as I was open to it. And so how this has informed my life, and I think this is why it sort of has significance now, is that, I truly understand that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yeah.
And that, so, and what has saved me is this understanding that life is, they're all cliches, they're all these buzzwords, but life is lived from within out. And if we're trying to control the narrative outside and, try to rearrange the deck chairs, that's what got me to that point.
Yeah.
And if I wanted a better life, I had to tell a better story. I had to tell an empowered one, not a, oh my God, I got to run around and try to, and it was not an easy recovery. I mean, it wasn't always smooth sailing. And, I let my ex-husband, who was acting like a total 5-year-old, know I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not personally responsible for the suffering of Christ and your unhappy life. And I've given you more than anybody ever would, and I'm done. Go figure it out, or don't go figure it out.
I feel like part of your responsibility and duty for having the near-death experience is to tell the story. Like this.
Yeah. But that's also a double-edged sword, because everybody's saying, oh, you've had this thing, now you have, I mean, I love some of my religious friends, but some of them were a little enthusiastic, like, oh, you have souls you're going to save. And it's like, yeah, that's heady. That's kind of a burden. And so I felt
God,
like I have to write, I have to share this. And it's like, yeah, I do. But
well, I think probably what they mean is that people are going to be touched. You're going to heal people, and even like
I have told that story to people, other people on the plane, flight attendants.
Wow.
Probably, hundreds of over the last few years, and they all seem to have the same, like, wow, like it's a profound thing. And what it's done for me, it's taken me a while. When you asked me who did I tell, and Father Kirk was one of the first people. Then I said, did this really happen to me? Did it? And I knew it did, but did it really happen? And so what it's informed me, and he was lovely, but he would often tell me, are you complaining and whining again about something that's not going your way? Like, how many demonstrations? And, my churchy friends about God wasn't done with you yet. And it's like, no, I wasn't done with me yet. I had the decision was mine, and the universe responded, but, it took a while to incorporate it. And then, when you're up, I don't know how much studying of the Jewish faith that you did in your life, but, so, for death, a friend of mine had this analogy years ago. So for death, which is quote unquote one of the biggest things that we deal with in life, we set Jews sit Shiva, and it's for 7 days. And then after that, they said the 30 days. And then, after a year, there's this, but mourning is given a structure and a time. And so
Yeah.
if we set aside 7 days for grieving, for the most important thing, how much time do we spend complaining and carrying on about things of lesser value?
Wow.
And so every time I'm up against something and I was reminded, oh, I'm short rent. Oh, you think that that power that, got you through almost dying can't help you with rent? Change the subject, change how they're approaching is. What am I
Yeah.
focusing on? I don't have enough. I don't have enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think about that when you look up in the sky and you see how big space is and the expansion. It goes on forever and ever and ever. And you're like, God, we're so small. And these things that we think matter, do they really matter? You're right, but you're right. It's the approach. It's how we approach it.
And it's also given me a different perspective on uncertainty. I mean, I think there are big things that people are afraid of, and death is one of them. And I'm,
Yeah.
I can only tell you it's a big no-brainer.
It's what?
It's a no-brainer. It's a
Oh,
non-entity. It's an illusion. I'm telling you, literally birth is probably more traumatic than dying.
oh, wow. Because it's
Yeah,
easier to die. You just let go.
you just let go, and you're not doing it alone. And it's like, so I would tell you this story. I don't know if I told it last time about this battery operated candle I have.
I don't think
Did
so.
I tell you that?
Uh-uh.
So my mother-in-law, my Filipino mother-in-law, God rest her soul. So she ain't resting, but anyway, she's very busy. Her and my grandmother have hooked up. They've become besties and they're trouble up there, but
Oh
or whatever.
no, I
Anyway,
love it.
so the death of her anniversary is in September, and when Ron and I were dating, and we were in Vegas. We had a big dinner with the whole family. It was kind of our housewarming, and she came over, and she used to crochet, and she gave everybody the same little candles. There were these plastic battery operated candles to put down with, to kind of your altar and put all your statues, which she had in enormous amounts of. It was put my grandmother to shame. My Italian grandmother, the house
Oh,
looked like a church. But anyway, she gave me these candles, and we kept them. And last September, Ron's niece called me, Cynthia Gorman. She said, "Hey, it's Mama's anniversary," and Ron was sleeping. I said, I'll tell him when he wakes up." And I look over, and we have a little credenza, a little cabinet that has the ashes of my long lost kitty cats, Jack and Junior, that I had for 18 years. And it's kind of an altar, and we have pictures of family up there, and I have their paw prints and stuff. And then I keep these candles there, and they haven't worked for like at least 2 years, right? And I'm cooking. Started to cook dinner, and I look over, and one candle's lit. I'm like, oh my God, this can't be right. But I mean, it
yeah.
could be. It's like, so I
I
call Cynthia. You're not gonna believe this, but Mama's candle's lit, right? And it hasn't worked in like 2 years. You go, take a picture. I want to see it. And so I went to take a picture, and I have this little monkey that belonged to Jack, my black cat. It was his little stuffed toy, and so Jack's monkey's there. And I nudged it just a little bit, and it went out. I was like,
ah,
and I hear my mother-in-law say, "Open it up and take the batteries out." And I opened them up and took the batteries out, and they were all corroded.
oh. So how in the world did it even go on?
And
That is crazy.
so she said to me, "Now go to the store and get new batteries." And that's how she was. I mean, I have celiac, and so I can't eat wheat or gluten, right? And one day she
Yeah.
was making lumpia, which are Filipino egg rolls, and I went to the house to drop something off. She used to make them for me with rice paper, and she's like, "Where are the papers?" And I said, I don't know. I didn't know you were. She goes, "Go now. Go get them now." And it's like, she was 5 feet
Bossy.
tall and 90 pounds soaking wet, and nobody argued with her. And
Oh my
she was
God, love it.
lovely. She was lovely. I have um,
Yeah. Let's
I
go.
have
Let's
to,
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so
Yeah.
just to wrap this up,
Yeah.
I went
Perfect.
and I put the lights and it came back on, but it's supposed to be like light sensitive.
Yeah.
It's got a mind of its own, and I feel them when they're
Wow.
here.
I believe it. I
They don't want to be,
totally.
our loved ones do not want to be told they're dead. It's an insult to
Yeah.
them. They're here, they're just in a different
Interesting.
vibration.
Yes.
I dream of
And
my
they,
grandmother all the time.
I love that. That means they're with you still, and that it's like gives you more faith and more peace because you have guardian angels watching over
And you know
you.
what? If people don't believe me, that's fine. I mean, I'm not here
Yeah.
to. I have to. Can I show this?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite
Oh.
pictures.
Oh, that's her.
And
Oh,
look at all the saints and stuff. That wasn't
dude.
Christmas.
That
That was
wasn't Christmas?
all. That wasn't Christmas. That was all year round. The whole
I was like,
half. It was a whole wall. I literally up the stairs was solid religious articles.
that's
She was adorable.
adorable.
She was
She's
adorable.
fierce.
Yeah, she
I
was
love
adorable.
that.
Love her to
I think
pieces.
we're I think we're gonna have a conversation too, like um my nose is always stuffed up, so
It's
excuse my
okay.
stuffed up nose. But I would love to talk more about your experience during the AIDS epidemic and what
Okay.
you maybe we could talk about that, making a list of like stuff to talk about that would an episode just for the AIDS
Yeah.
epidemic because these young kids, I barely know
Yeah.
about it, and the younger kids
Right.
have no idea how how many people died and how normal that was.
And also how
Crazy.
people that I want to um oh my sister said my sister said she had a dream of grandma the other night, and I said yeah, she was the other night, and the night before last she if I don't talk to her, she
Yeah.
comes in my dreams. But anyway,
I love that. I love all
so
the stuff.
the for me the point of reference has also been how does this experience serve me right now. And right now, I can tell you that it is offering a bit of a grounding while I feel like the world is on fire. I mean, anybody that doesn't think the world feels like it's on fire right now,
Yeah.
I want to know what you're taking because I need some. But that
Right.
being said, this
Yeah.
gives me a sense that there are the only thing the purveyors of insanity or in chaos have to offer is fear and hopelessness. If they can make us afraid, they can control us. And if they can make us feel hopeless, they can control us.
Yeah.
And I ain't going, I mean, what are they going to alive me? I mean, not that I want to put that out. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, what is it? And so I think this is and what you focus on, you amplify.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing that story. And
Welcome.
yeah, I definitely want to. I mean, I would love to have a whole thing on near-death experiences because I feel like it's very uplifting because it reminds people that there's more to life than this.
Right.
I would love
Oh,
to,
yeah.
if you know any other people that would want to
Sure.
talk about it. I
Right.
love near-death experiences and people's even spiritual experiences. Like you said, the candle going off. I love
Yeah.
hearing about that because I've had stuff like that happen and it's like, it's very
Yeah.
confirming and uplifting.
Right.
Brenda said, that would be amazing. Thank you. Eric said, what
Oh,
an interesting story. Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
super
Yeah.
interesting. You have
Yeah.
many stories. You have many
Yeah.
stories. If you think too, like if you like, oh my God, I want to talk more about your spiritual experiences or the near death or more signs you've had, we could do another episode just on that
Sure.
too.
Well,
Like,
it also has really, I don't know it. You can get my husband on sometime to get his perspective on it, but he'll say, "Oh, you and that woo woo stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, that woo woo stuff is creates a pretty nice standard of living for us, but and it hasn't always been that way. But
yeah,
you tell the story that you want to live, and I think I'm looking at, I want to know the backstories that's going on right now. 7 million
yeah,
people stood up and went, no kings. That's
yeah,
historic. The
yeah,
people that are in Minnesota that are being affected by these things. We hear the stories of the ICE raids, and they're terrible. But then we're also hearing the stories of how white neighbors are going to their Latino and brown neighbors saying, carrying signs in Spanish or whatever, saying, if you need anything, let us know. We're here for you. Don't stay inside. ISIS here is not safe. We will go out and do the things that you can't.
Yeah.
And that's the response that they can't
take away.
No. And the more we do that, and it is a challenge, because there are days when my Italian vendetta chromosome was to go
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. Yeah.
That was my best friend Mark, who was Italian, used to call him. He used to say, "Hi, calm down. Your vendetta chromosome is working over."
Yeah. I mean, you can't fight against everything. You can't fight against the force. You can only do so much. And I just pray that, like, the truth of things will be seen. The people that, what are the intentions will be seen.
I think we're seeing that. I think we're there's all kinds of theories of what's going on right now, and there's astrological things, and people, it's like, okay, yeah, it's all nice, and we'll see. But I think it's really important for people to hold on to as much. It's not just positive, because part of I love this term alchemy, and it's been part of my spiritual. Eric Butterworth was the Unity minister I spent 16 years with in New York City, and that whole idea of alchemy, that we take the stuff up and we transform it into something better.
Yeah.
So we take all the sorrow, and we actually are doing it for generations, and the bucks, as Suzanne Summers used to say, the trauma, the abuse stops with me. And so I'm strong enough to take it on and go, I'm going to transform all this ugliness into light. I'm just going to.
Yeah.
So anger is one of them. I mean, because just being positive,
Yeah.
The day after the election last year, I was devastated, like a lot of people, and maybe some people weren't. That's fine. But people were like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Like, just don't bring that around me right now. I'm not there.
Yeah. It's just, I don't want to talk too much about, because people have their different point of view, but
sure.
actions speak louder than words, and they've gone way too far with the whole ICE thing. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's insane. But anyways, we pray that the truth is known and that intentions are shown and that we see the truth. That's what I pray for, us to see the truth. So
I think I think we're in we're hopefully ascending out. We're evolving. We're not just Père Taylor de Chardin, who was a Catholic priest and a theologian and a philosopher, said, the only thing that's predestined is that we're on the path to discover the Alpha and the Omega, and that we're on the path to discovering that we are God. We are the creator and the creation, and we can go kicking and screaming, or we can have a good time along the way. And there's a lot of kicking and screaming right now.
Yeah. But you got to just not let that keep you from loving your neighbor and loving the people that are around you, and having
kindness
peace.
Kindness is it. Yeah.
Freaking goes along. You think, like, you could see a stranger and you could smile at them and it affects them in a positive way, which then affects the next person they see. Or you could piss a stranger off, and that could be the death of them that day. One action, one smile.
But here's the thing that I believe is that if we really, even if we look at the political spectrums from whatever side, and we stop looking at the issues, if we go to the core issues of what everybody wants, freedom is it. We all want freedom.
Yeah.
That we can agree on. So the rest of it's all just like how we get there. We can talk, but the core things are the same, and people are waking up.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, Nicholas, thank you so much for being here, and your family. I love that your family is here, and we're going to keep this going.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk with you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.